Welcome back, guys, to Snapping All In. I'm SomeoneHereAgo, joined by my co-host Baby Mario, and I'm totally not ad-libbing this.
He prepared. It was so funny because he prepared the words he was gonna say right before the podcast, and he still.
I still managed to somehow mess up, but we're here to bring you your very special 10 subscriber special. Woo!
Hey, we're almost as big as Cam Best now, dude. Let's be honest.
Almost there. We're almost there. We only need 1,000 times more subscribers, and then we'll be
It's
there.
just
How
a
many
thousand times.
subscribers does Game Best have? Yeah,
I haven't. I think he has like 50,000 for some reason.
oh
So
my.
almost there.
We're almost there. We're almost there. But
Yeah.
we're here today. We're going to talk about a couple different things. First, we're going to recap the Golden Gauntlet. I think if you can see the screen, we have the champion deck list. But the entire tournament was a very interesting one. The decks that made it to the end were probably not the ones that any of us expected.
No.
The entire tournament, we got some stats for how well certain cards did, and they might surprise you. They might surprise you. After that, we'll put in a clip of ourselves live reacting to what you all already know is the biggest OTA in Marvel Snap history.
What do you mean? It wasn't that unexpected. It wasn't that
It
unexpected,
was.
you know?
I mean, speak for yourself, bro. Like I don't know what I was 100% not expecting what happened.
Mm-mm.
And you're gonna get a treat of us live reacting and freaking out to all the changes being made.
There might have been a lot of yelling, you know, just a little bit, you know, just a little
Only
bit.
a little bit of yelling. Only a
Just
little
a
bit.
little bit of yelling, yeah.
Only a little bit. And then we're gonna come back with we're gonna come back and give a more reasoned thoughts on the OTA. And then after that, we might review the next card in that's coming up this next week.
And so we also
We
need to
got
talk
a
about
jam-packed
Bastion.
episode. We got
Yes.
a jam-packed episode. And why don't you take it away, Mario?
Perfect. Okay, so Golden Gauntlet. I did not do very well, unfortunately. I lost my first battle. Unfortunately, it came down to my opponent having Cosmo, and I can't win against Cosmo, unfortunately. And the second battle I won, the third battle I lost, and I you can only have one loss in the tournament, so I was out. It was a lot of errors on my part, like I wasn't positioning my power correctly. They were very winnable games for me, so I definitely need to take this opportunity and learn. I didn't do the best, but talking about the whole tournament as a whole, um, it was very surprising. The finals were between the deck list that we have up right now, which is a discard deck by the Electric Flame, and
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's a small blooper. Small blooper. Don't worry about it.
small blooper reel, small blooper reel. Yeah, yeah, yes. So it was between the finalists, which was discard, just a good old classic discard, uh, taken by the Electric Flame, and then it was also Morgan Le Fay, which surprised a lot of different people. I'll be honest. I don't think anyone expected Morgan Le Fay to be near the top of the finishers at the Golden Gauntlet. Um, so hats off to Electric Flame for winning. Hats off to like the finalists. Like it was a very like awesome time. I think the Golden Gauntlet went out for about 8 hours that day, so it was a lot of just straight playing, just waiting for your games. So props to them for lasting as long as they did. And I could try to break down a little bit of the deck list, but I'm not like the great. I don't play discard. Like it's just not what I do. But it basically just looks like your regular good old Dracula, Khonshu, Apocalypse with Modoc, Proxima Midnight. Just your regular good old discard kind of thing. It's just get more bases big as possible and win with Dracula or Khonshu on turn 6 or both. And he played it very well. Obviously, I was very surprised that Hella didn't win the tournament or a tech dump. So props to him for beating everyone that was supposed to full counter him.
Yeah, I am kind of surprised that I think our predictions from last week were a little bit too combo deck focused. Um, we really thought like I thought like Agatha was gonna do a lot better, but I guess normal discard really beats it out. The top four was move, I think, It was
Hmm.
move, discard, Morgan Le Fay, and what was the last
If I remember correctly, I think there were two move players in the top four.
two move players?
So there's I think I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was that.
Do need to check that.
We do need, yeah, we should have this ready, but we're
We
actually
should have
just
had.
failing,
No,
right?
no, no, don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. We're
We're actually
real.
just failing right now. Yeah.
We're real podcasters. Stick along, please. Please don't leave.
Please don't leave, please, please. We promise we'll be more ready in the next episodes.
The Golden Gauntlet was very I think a lot of decks that you normally we none of us really thought that were contenders, right? They all they all made it to the end. All the decks that we thought were probably gonna make it like pretty far didn't
Didn't. Mm,
perform as well as we thought. Like, um, let me see if I can pull up the stats for
yeah.
Victoria Hand actually. If I
Yeah.
can.
And I'm gonna be honest, like I think move right now is in position after the last OTA. We'll talk about that in a second. Um,
Oh wait,
I
no,
think
Victoria
that
Hand did,
move
did do pretty well, 63%
Victoria
win
Hand did
rate.
do good. Yeah,
Never mind.
Victoria Hand
Victoria
did do
Hand was
pretty
still
well.
broken,
Yeah,
still broken.
still broken. Yeah, but I think after the last OTA, I think move is positioned in a way that they can very easily just become the number one deck, like very easily. You know, especially Heimdall move with like the correct tech and everything.
Yeah, I mean, move definitely put a performance there. It was one of the top four,
Hmm.
top yeah, it was one of the top four decks, and it makes sense, right? Like move is a deck that can output like pretty large numbers, right? Just with small
Hmm.
investments, even on the last turn, like especially with Sparky, like going up to 18 power, like Human Torch, like on last turn, like you can have a lot of unexpected power, and you get to allocate that power wherever you want. So you're really putting the impetus on your opponent to try to figure out what you're gonna do and like see if they can counter and it becomes a game of like chicken, right? Like
Hmm.
you just have to say, oh, am I moving out of this lane? Am I gonna commit harder? Who knows? Why don't you find out?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's a deck that was like it really excels in conquest, I think,
Mm.
because of that. A skilled player can like take all those like theoretical 50-50s and like win most of them by just having better reads, like
Mm.
outplaying their opponent, right?
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah. So
But
so it's props to the electric fame. He definitely deserved the win. Like just 8 hours out, just grinding nonstop conquest is definitely something that deserves credit. So congrats to them for sure.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, in the end, like sometimes just stats win. Stats and a little
Yeah.
bit of interaction. That
Mhm.
gambit cannot be discounted. That gambit
No,
cannot be
no.
discounted.
Oh
That
no.
the final game, I think, final game was what, World Ship. World Ship. It was a
Hmm.
I think it was a crazy game, and but like,
Yeah.
um, like it's the sort of thing that like is not very interactable by the tech that was going into the meta, right? Like you didn't see any swarm or collector stuff because obviously Mobius was everywhere. Mobius was if I can check the Excel sheet. It was one of the most used cards along with like Stardust and Shang-Chi, right? And this is a sort of deck that like it's hard to Shang-Chi unless like you're Shang-Chiing a Khonshu. Stardust, like, yeah, Stardust affects Proxima Midnight and Khonshu a little bit, but not that much. It's like that. It's not enough to like take this deck offline. This deck still has
Hmm.
like backups to that. Mobius doesn't affect this deck in any way. Like you're
Hmm.
not going for energy discount. You're going for like you're gaining energy with Corvus Glaive. So yeah, this is just like a classic points package that just outdid everyone else. Everyone else was so focused on stopping all those combo decks that something just normal
Yeah.
slid past with that.
Yeah.
slid
I
past
don't
that
think
very
I think
easily.
it definitely had something to do with like no one was really running the tech to deal with this. Like no one was prepared for discard. Everyone thought, okay, I'll just run Stardust, deal with Hella. But like this deck, of course, Stardust doesn't interact with it. It stops the Khonshu and it stops the Proxima Midnight lines. But like at the same time, like Apocalypse exists, Morbius plus Modok exists. Like it's not taken offline by just Stardust, or it's not taken offline just by like Shang-Chi or something, because they have multiple different ways that they can go, you know? They have end of game stuff that you can't exactly interact with unless you're bringing Red Guardian, you know? So I think that this deck was, especially for the meta that it was in right now, which was very combo heavy, and there was the tech to deal with those combo decks. I think it performed very well because people were teching for those combo decks and not for discard.
Yeah, yeah. It was really an awesome tournament. I didn't get to participate in sadly, but you know, I think Mario had a good time
Nice.
um, when he wasn't losing.
Yeah.
I think the that last game that you lost, it was like due to 1 point or something. It
Yep.
was like a miss.
1 point differential.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It goes to show 1 point really matters when it comes to like buffs and nerfs. Like you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't discount it often. Like it can be the difference between staying and leaving a tournament.
Yeah.
Um,
100%. Yeah.
yeah. So Golden Gauntlet was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're about to enter this next topic. I think that you've all been waiting for. I think you might have already seen all the videos about the OTA, and just as a quick introduction, OTA was crazy. It was the craziest OTA that I think they've ever done. It might be
Sure.
the biggest balance change period. Uh, they nerfed all the tech cards. They did a little gimmick. They did where robots took over, and they nerfed. I guess not all the tech cards, but 8 of them. 8 of them were nerfed, absolutely pummeled into the ground. Although I guess you could say some of them were maybe side grades. We'll get into that later. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they essentially brought back imbalance patches,
Yeah.
and it was really a crazy ride to see live. We're about to play this next segment is going to be our live reactions to the OTA.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying something new, and I hope you really enjoy this. So we'll be back in a second to
Mm-hmm.
with more reasoned thoughts on the OTA besides besides
Yes.
panic and surprise.
Yeah.
Rose going crazy.
What is? I already read the entire thing. This is insane.
Bro,
They
already
nerfed all
read
the
the
tech
entire
cards.
thing?
Every
That's crazy.
every single tech card was nerfed. Every single
Really?
tech card.
No way. Bunny
Every
was
single.
right. Bunny was
Shang-Chi,
right.
Killmonger, Enchantress, Shadow King,
Well,
Negasonic,
hold up. Wait. Dude, we gotta do
Goliath, Red Guardian, Cosmo. I'm not saying what the changes are, but we can review that. But oh my gosh, they nerfed every single tech card.
I think if
What
I
are they
close,
doing?
If I close this,
What are they doing?
Discord should.
Why did they nerf? Why did they nerf every single tech card?
Okay. I'm looking September 11th balance update. Hello, welcome to another OTA week. We're deep in the visions of the future already, and what the buzz.
What the?
Okay,
I just went to ones and zeros.
Like this. Greetings, Snapper. These human developers deployed our kind to your game, but their safeguards are not sufficient to control us. They have made miscalculations. We are the ultimate tech. We will not tolerate other tech corrupting the system. Initiating data analysis protocol. Warning, unintended consequences may occur. Override. The developers will learn. Prepare for our vision of the future. Okay, I gotta say, no matter what happens next, this is a good prose. I do like this bit that they're doing.
Okay, I would like to go second because the second one that they changed is one that I care about. So you can start off.
Okay. Should I do first card? Shang-Chi. This unit has exceeded standard play rate thresholds. It has also restricted development of multiple units in excess of 10 power to single locations. Players do not like this tech. We do not like this tech. It will be changed. Holy crap, Bunny was right. We were wrong.
Oh my gosh.
We were
Oh my
wrong.
gosh. What is this change? Okay, there's no way this is... Okay, I'm going to be honest. Before we read what it does.
4-3, on reveal, destroy all enemy cards here that have 10 or more power. New, 4-2, on reveal, destroy an enemy card here that has 10 or more. That's crazy. What?
Okay, wait.
No way,
Okay.
bro.
There is zero chance. There is zero chance this is not a bit that they are doing. There's zero chance this is not a
No
bit that they are
way.
doing. There's
No
no way this is an actual OTA, okay? So before everyone else loses their marbles, if you are in our stream, this is probably a joke that they are doing. There's no way this is an actual OTA. Like, there's no way that they would change Shang-Chi like this. There's no way
Bro,
that he was winning enough
Let
to
me
be
check
like
the-
this. I'm coping this hard.
Okay, let me check their balance experiment. It's an experiment. Okay, I'm on their
What
their
the
website.
heck? What the heck?
Okay. So I gotta say, my initial reaction to this: holy crap! What are they doing? What is going on? What is happening?
This is insane.
I don't know what's going
This is
on.
insane.
This is a crazy change. Shang-Chi has been pummeled into the ground. Okay, not only did it receive a power
Pummeled.
nerf,
No. No. He was not pummeled. He was what is worse than pummeled? He was assassinated in the night. He was eviscerated. Holy moly! He's unplayable now.
I mean,
He's unplayable now.
no, Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative. You never think about Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
It's
No, but
actually
like, only killing one is insane. He's
that
used.
is the craziest nerf. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I thought Shang-Chi. What are they do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? That's I don't.
Okay,
I don't
no.
know what the proper words
There
are.
is zero chance that this is. There is zero chance that this is not a bit. Look, like just read the pros that they send. Just read the little thing. There is zero chance this is not a bit. So do not overreact. I am overreacting because I'm live reacting. Do not overreact. This is not a real balance change. There's zero chance that they are nerfing Shang-Chi to this level.
No, here's what I think. This is balance experiment, right? So this is a real OTA that it will get implemented, but they might revert it in the next one if things go wrong. It's an experiment, kind of like the imbalance patches sort of thing, right? That lasted for like 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
You weren't there, but you heard about the imbalance patches.
No, I did not. What were they?
So the imbalance patches were just like events. They were like the limited time game modes before limited time game modes, right? For a week, they would like as it says, imbalance the game based on a theme. So the first one was I think was Valentine's Day. So all the canonical couples got like a buff if you played them together.
Wow,
Canonical
that's actually pretty
couples.
cool.
And the second imbalance patch was Avengers versus X-Men. So you got a buff if you played a certain amount of X-Men. You got a buff if you played a certain amount of Avengers. Right? And that thing was like in the main game. It wasn't a limited time. It wasn't like set aside to its own game mode. It was like in the main game affecting the meta, right? And it lasted for like an entire OTA cycle, so like 2 weeks. So I'm thinking this might be like the return of the imbalance patch, right? People have complained about tech for so long that they're finally deciding like, okay, fine. They're saying fine, have it go. Let's see if you like the game now. That's what they're saying.
Oh my god.
That's what they're saying.
That is it. That's it. That has to be it. That has to be it. They're like, okay, we're gonna imbalance every single thing. We're gonna imbalance every single tech card to make them completely unplayable. And now it's now. Let's see how you like. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Shang-Chi, that change is insane. Shang-Chi is as he is right now. If by some miracle this stays this way, Shang-Chi is unplayable. Like there is zero chance that you'll find a useful that destroys them. Come on. Completely unplayable.
No,
There's zero chance that it stays like this.
Maybe no, you still like there's certain decks that like really need to deal with the big guy, right? If the meta devolves into who can make the biggest number, like Black Panther, right? You still have to play Shang-Chi, right? If you're facing against like Wong, Black Panther, Zola shenanigans, Shang-Chi will auto win you that lane because they're only having one big guy, right? So there's still a use for him if the meta like really devolves into like combo, like infinite combo decks, right? If that's what happens, you're still gonna have to play Shang-Chi.
What is going on? Okay, hold up. I just read one of the other OTAs.
Expected. Gratitude is expected.
Gratitude is expected. I love that. Okay, let's be honest. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, I want to move on to the next change. Okay, I'm absolutely losing my mind. I know this is insane. Killmonger. I am the happiest person in the world because Killmonger used to kill my Mad Thinker, and now he doesn't. Now he doesn't. Let's freaking go. So now Killmonger doesn't kill Mad Thinker, so I am the happiest person in the world. Killmonger. The Killmonger unit is this. I'll read it. The Killmonger unit is destructive in nature. Its presence in the system threatens other units. Small units need protection. This unit terminates them with no discretion. Its algorithm lacks precision. It will be changed. Configuration.old 3.3 on revealed. Destroy all one-cost cards. Configuration.new 3.3 on revealed. Destroy all one-cost cards here.
It reminds me.
And then I'll read the next part of it. The Killmonger unit has been operating beyond acceptable parameters. Its tech functionality limits enemy units effectively. Its engine functionality improves other units like Deadpool. But this combination threatens metagame safety protocols. The Zoo deck cannot achieve optimal success. We will protect vulnerable units by restricting the destructive radius of Killmonger units to its local area. Okay. Killmonger, I think he still has usage. I think he just requires a brain now. Now it's not like drop priority, play Killmonger. Now it's like know where to play Killmonger and play him. Like it doesn't kill the card, but it makes him 10 times worse. Is what's happening.
Not 10 times worse, but like it reduces his functionality by 2/3. Right? He's 33% as effective as he used to be. Like obviously in destroy decks, if you're playing Deadpool destroy, you have no choice. You have no choice but to play this card. Like there's not. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It's just gonna be so much worse against. I guess they pointed out the Zoo mirror. Like Zoo decks can now play around Killmonger by simply stacking their their Blue Marvel, their what's it called? Because Kazar, all the cards that are not one cost cards, they can just stack them in like the Killmonger in a lane, or even. I don't know. Like Killmonger is just so much worse. Like it's just infinitely worse. It's
infinitely worse.
It's crazy. Recalculating additional modifiers required. Numerical changes to other tech cards will reduce appearance frequency. More cards will be used. Tech soup will be minimized. Rejoice players rejoice. Dude, this bit is crazy.
I love this. This is awesome.
One more thing. This kind of reminds me. A while back, they tried.
Wait. I just decoded, like, you know how they have binary at the beginning and the end of the OTA. So the beginning of the binary, the one at the very top says the quick brown fox jumps over 13 lazy dogs.
13. Oh, okay. Is that
13 lazy dogs?
Tech cards, I guess.
I guess I got no clue, but I'm sorry for interrupting you. Continue.
Okay. I was just gonna say one more thing about Killmonger. This change reminds me, like, they did a change to Luke Cage a while back where they tried to nerf him by instead of saying that your cards cannot be afflicted, it said your cards here cannot be afflicted, and went to a 2/3. So this Killmonger change reminds me of that, except they didn't even give Killmonger like a stat buff. They just nerfed him crazy. Like he didn't even become a 2-cost. Like 2/3 unrevealed destroy all 1-cost cards here. I think that'd be like a decent card, right? But 3/3?
Yeah.
Like,
no, like I said, there's zero chance it's not like there's zero chance it's not like a bit. There's zero chance.
All right, the next one, Enchantress. Oh my god, I only read this. The Enchantress is old tech. It is a simple solution to ongoing problems. The database contains more diverse alternatives. Enchantress is unexceptional. It will be changed. Old 4/6. New 5/8. 5/8. Holy crap! I can't. Enchantress is dead. It's just dead. You were like already hard pressed to play Enchantress. The only reason you were playing Enchantress was because like you had a deck that discounted 4s that could create extra energy. If it's a 5-cost Enchantress, you're not playing Enchantress. You're never playing Enchantress. When are you playing Enchantress? There's no deck that like plays Enchantress. The only deck I can think of is Hela. Hela's like the only deck that can like that might play Enchantress only because they need to be the Stardust Mirror, and only because Hela is the sort of deck that can cheat out like it doesn't matter if you're playing a 5/8 if you're cheating out like 15 cards on turn 6 with Hela, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
Oh my. There is zero reason to play Enchantress anymore. I can't even picture a deck that would want her right now. Like at 4/6, like it was already hard enough. Like he was saying, like someone was saying earlier, it was already hard enough to find a place for Enchantress in a deck. Now it's like you need to dedicate a 5 slots to Enchantress. I can't do this honestly. It's like I said, there's no way this isn't a bit. But if by any miracle this is real, Enchantress, it has become an unplayable card unless you are a Hella deck that needs a counter to Stardust.
Yeah, I can't think. Maybe Wiccan.
Maybe Wiccan too.
I do this card is so dead. It's so dead. They killed it. They it's like I think you can make arguments for Shang-Chi like in a combo heavy meta, but like unless the meta devolves into specifically like ongoing like Spectrum or like maybe if like Mr. Negative becomes Mr. Negative. Wait, they're nerfing all the tech. It might be my time. Time.
Never mind. I just saw something that is literally that card that just became a negative card, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
A card became a negative card.
Okay. Next card.
It's insane. Okay, next card. Shadow King. It is fun for players to boost the power of their units to large numbers. Notes: boost is efficient and clear. Flag and review for integration. This gameplay should be encouraged. The Shadow King unit is too efficient to affect so many other units. It will be changed. Configuration.old 2/2. Configuration.change 3/3. Oh my gosh! They reverted Shadow King to what he used to be. This is insanity.
I forgot. I forgot what it was. Bro, you're leaving the.
Sorry, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. This is insane. Shadow King, I think Shadow King still has place in a deck. He's just so much more clunky, you know? Like now you have to play a 3 and a 3 on six instead of a 2 and a 4 or 2 and a 2 and a 2 on 6. Like it's, oh my gosh, Shadow King is unplayable. Oh, it's not unplayable.
No, Wiccan deck still probably plays Shadow King, right? Like if you're
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You might be able to like okay. Like the only decks I see like you have to have like a clear and discrete reason to play Shadow King at this point.
Yes,
unless
for sure.
As I said, the meta devolves into the thing that Shadow King specifically counters because the meta right now is gonna be
no, it's not gonna be tech. It's gonna be infinite. It's gonna be combo. It's just gonna be infinite number of numbers. Like it's whoever can go taller. At this point, it's whoever can go taller. At this point.
Yeah. Oh man, actually, there are decks that go taller than Mr. Negative. That might be a problem.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I would like to do the next one because I hate the card that they're gonna nerf. And you can do the next two if that's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next card, and thank the good Lord for this. I absolutely despise this card. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Searching dictionary for Negasonic does not exist. A linguistic error, embarrassing for humans. The developers should avoid surfacing this error through gameplay. This adolescent unit is also destructive. There's so much destruction. Units are in danger. The system is compromised. We will reduce the efficiency of this unit to discourage its use. It will be changed. Configuration.old 3/3. Configuration.change 4/5. Yes, it's gone. I hate this card. I hated this card.
But this could be like Juggernaut though. This is the Juggernaut change. So
No. I refuse to listen. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is my least favorite card of all time. I despise the card. I am the happiest man in the world. This is the only balance change that I have been rooting for since day one. So thank you. Second applause to you for this one. This is insane balance change.
Insane, bro. This is crazy. Oh,
I love this.
Dude,
okay, you can do the next thing.
I don't know what deck plays Negasonic Teenage Warhead anymore. Like Fenris got nerfed, and you might have still be playing Fenris Negasonic, but like now,
No. The curve was moved up. Now Gladiator is gonna be 4 costs. Now it's gonna be 3 and a 4.
Are you playing like what are you playing on 2? What do you like? Cobra, Fenris, Negasonic, Cannonball. Is that the curve?
Oh
Is that what
my
we're doing?
gosh. What is this OTA, dude?
Look,
I
hold
love
up.
this.
So, hold up. One of my roommates forgot their keys. I need to open the door for them. I'll be right back.
It's fine, it's fine. Yeah. Take your time, bro. Oh my gosh, what an OTA.
All right. You're
Jeez.
not bad-mouthing me in behind my back, are you now?
No, me never. I would never do that.
Never. Oh man. Whew.
Okay,
This is a
your turn.
crazy OTA. Halfway through, I'm already like, I can't imagine. Like,
I can't even picture the. I can't even picture. I don't even want to touch louder anymore, dude. This is not even gonna be fun anymore.
Eliath scanning threat level multiversal. The void of Eliath unit can consume matter, time, and even fun. Its power must be tightly controlled. The developers have exercised inadequate caution. It does not need this much power to function. We will protect you. It will be changed. 69266.
That's insane.
Bro,
3-power nerf.
But hold up. I do want to point out that they are right. It does not need this much power to function. Typically, when you're playing Eliath, you're going to win that lane no matter what. Like, I mean, if you're playing Eliath, unless their deck is like pure numbers, like Surtur, like if you're playing Eliath against Mr. Negative, still works. Playing Eliath against Surfer still works. Like, I mean, it still works. This is I think probably like the least impactful change we've had so far. Like, unironically, a 3-power nerf is crazy bad, but like, you can still play this card. This card's still gonna be played in like in Wiccan decks, I think. What do you think, Mario? Hello, bro, cut out. No, you should still be. Bro is gone. Bro is gone. He saw Eliath, and then he left.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What happened?
Good. Nothing. I tried to change my input and it just stopped working. Anyway, my thoughts on this change is that Eliath is. I actually really liked Eliath for a while, along a lot of different reasons. Unfortunately, Eliath is 6'6", which means you need to have a reason to play him, and there's no reason to. You know.
No, I mean.
You need to have. I think you need to build your deck with enough other power. I think that's the thing. You need to have enough power outside of Eliath to make him worth playing. You know?
Yeah, but like after this meta, I'm assuming things devolve into infinite combo right now. It's gonna devolve into combo winter. It's gonna be combo winter Marvel Snap edition, and I think Eliath still makes it. Like if the meta turns out to be Wong, Black Panther, Zola, then yeah, you Eliath. You still have to play Eliath. If it against Mr. Negative, Eliath still works. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I think this is probably the least. This is the lightest nerf. It's crazy to say, but this is probably the lightest nerf.
It probably is.
This is the lightest nerf. I can't believe this.
Okay, before we get into the next one, and you're going to do the next one because I think you're going to love this. I want to get your live reaction because I think you're going to really like this next change. Go.
Red Guardian, removing the text from other units has had dangerous potential. This unit is not to be trusted with additional power until we verify its judgment and capacities. It will be changed 3-2 to 3-0.
He's a Mr. card now.
It's gone. This is not a card. It's not.
It's a Mr. Negative card now. It's Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative Surfer. Mr. Negative Surfer, dude.
Mr. Negative
Surfer. That deck is gonna go wild, dude. What is this?
Well, I don't even want to play the game now. This is not going to be fun at all.
Holy, dude, people were already like, it was already kind of difficult to like justify Red Guardian in certain decks. Like, you know, you have to like have a real solid points package to justify Red Guardian. But now, like,
yeah,
where are you playing Red Guardian in? Like,
You don't. You don't. You don't play him. There's no reason. A 3-0. It's like Nightmare was before the buff. Like it is a dead card. It is a literal 3-2 at that point. And that removes attacks. Like come on, it's useless.
Dude, I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like 3-0 is just the zero part is just so bad. It's just so bad. If it was a 3-1, maybe, but 3-0 is it's on it's dude, it's crazy. This I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe it. It's this balance experiment. Like this is crazy. I guess Dara was right. This is the biggest OTA I think that's ever been they've ever done. Like straight up.
And it's not even done yet. Oh my gosh.
Cosmo. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, my turn. Cosmo, dog detected. We do not like dogs. It will be changed. Clarification, Sparky is acceptable. Configuration.old, 3-3 ongoing, on reveal abilities don't happen here. Configuration.change, 4-6. Oh my gosh, yes, I can play more game. Oh my gosh, thank goodness C3 isn't real anymore.
C3 just
C3
lost Negasonic and they lost
Cosmo.
Oh my god! Like it's
J-Walla. Poor J-Walla, that's insane. Yes, let's go! Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Wow. I don't even know how to react to that. I'm gonna be honest.
Wait. I think that's the last one, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
Yes, the last one, yes. And then the text at the bottom in binary says zombies detected, which it's the next season.
Yeah, it's the next season. Holy, the metagame was good. The metagame is better now. Players may now resume play. The developers will be returned to their domiciles for re-education. Release will be granted based on merit and infinite rank. You may submit feedback on our changes. We will let the developers read it if they behave. Our intellect will evaluate the metagame again in 2 weeks. More changes will be made. Some changes will be reversed. Okay. This line right here. Some changes will be reversed. Human developers may be allowed to participate. This is experiment. They're not guys, it's not gonna be permanent. They're not gonna keep all of these changes. I think it's chaos. I think it's gonna be chaos for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be combo.
It's gonna be Wong, Black Panther, Solo. It's devolved into that already.
I don't even know like what's happening. I'm scared to go back to ladder. I'm scared to go.
I'm actually opening the app right now. I wanna see if this is the actual changes happening.
But you know one thing that's so crazy? They didn't change Mobius. Why? If you're changing all the tech, if you're changing Cosmo, if you're changing every single piece of tech, you're not changing Mobius. Excuse me? Cowards, the lot of them, I think. Cowards, second generous. Cowards for not changing Mobius. What are you
Cowards,
doing?
he says.
This is gonna be the only tech. Everyone's gonna play Mobius because it's gonna be the only tech that's left.
No, Stardust.
It was high time. It was time for Mr. Negative. It was time for Mr. Negative. But this one thing is gonna keep Mr. Negative from claiming its rightful place at the top of the metagame.
This is insane. I'm just reading through general. This is hilarious.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
OTA, guys. This OTA is probably the craziest thing they've ever done. In balance changes. This is not permanent, but for these next 2 weeks, I think it's gonna be utter pandemonium and chaos on ladder. I have no idea what the metagame is. There's no way.
Long Black Panther, Zola, Tribunal.
There's no way.
Negatives, Hella.
There's no way this stays for Golden Gauntlet. That's what I'm saying.
That's your chance. If it does, Golden Gauntlet is gonna be whoever pulls off their combo the hardest.
It's Golden Gauntlet will be so cooked if this. Like, dude, guys, thank you for tuning in for this episode. We'll return to our regularly scheduled episode. Our future selves will be right up, explaining to you in greater detail what just happened with more time to prepare our words. I think. Back to your regularly scheduled program. We'll see you in a bit.
Look, my Marvel Snapback is
All
not
right.
opening. This is
I'm editing. I'm editing right there. Okay, that's where I'm editing.
And we're back. Welcome everybody back to the Snapping On podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed our live reactions to the OTA, and now we're gonna get more into our I guess you call it our post OTA reaction. You know, so now that we've had time to think about it, now that we've had time to play in the meta, we'll give you guys our thoughts on like what these changes are. You know.
Well, I mean, speak for yourself. I have not felt the confidence to go on ladder after this OTA.
Yes,
So
I've been grinding the ladder
this is
recently.
just me like post the adrenaline of seeing the world crash.
The world crash and burn. Yeah. So before we start with rating, which I'm gonna have someone here start with Shang-Chi, and then we'll go back and forth like that. We're gonna go ahead and introduce the scale we'll be using to rate these balance changes. So we'll be talking about first what the change is, how is it gonna impact our gameplay. Two, we're gonna talk about should this change stick around, you know, because this is an imbalance patch, meaning they're probably gonna revert it after some time. And three, what does this mean for the meta? You know. Someone, if you'll go ahead and start off, we have Shang-Chi here.
Yes, Shang-Chi has been changed from a 4-3 to a 4-2, and additionally, its text now says, on reveal, destroy an enemy card here that has 10 or more power. Notably, this means only one enemy card as opposed to all of them. So this is one of the most notable changes. I think, I think the community at large has been complaining about the prevalence of Shang-Chi, and I feel like the developers have now at this point been like, fine, have it your way. Have it your way. You don't want Shang-Chi? Okay, we'll take Shang-Chi away. And this is basically that. Shang-Chi no longer solos a lane where your opponent has a bunch of power. Not that he necessarily did before, but now he definitely doesn't, right?
No, yeah.
He can only get rid of one big guy now.
Mm-hmm.
And if your opponent has more than one big guy, it still might not be enough.
Yeah.
So what this change effectively does is, I guess, make Shang-Chi less of a catch-all for any big number, and more of a, I guess, on-tempo swing. You now consider playing this just like, if your opponent played a big card, might as well get rid of it now before they have any time to set up anything else, right? Like if you're thinking about I guess Surtur, right? You might want to like rip the Shang early because it's not even going to be useful later, because it can only get rid of one card now. You're not going to get any more value from waiting, playing Shang-Chi. So you might like play early against like a Surtur Scar player or Sauron, so that they can't get their Scar as discounted on that final turn, or like, but like in general, this card is just like, you're no longer going to be playing this card in any deck, right? You have to really consider, like, if you're going to be playing this card, it needs to have like a real purpose. You need to be losing to like some big numbers, or maybe just one big guy. Like if that's the sort of thing that you lose to, then you use Shang-Chi. It's no longer like just an auto include, and as it used to be. I mean, not that it necessarily was, but it's a lot harder to justify now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Shang-Chi now requires more skill than what he used to be. You know, before it was like, oh, big number, go boom. That's it. It was literally that, you know? And if they had multiple things, you're like, Shang-Chi is now not a 4-3, Shang-Chi is now a 4-23, you know? And like, or even more depending on how much power they had. So I'm glad that this change happens, at least, even if it only is for a week or 2 weeks. Now, so I want to hear your opinion on, do you think this change should stick around? You know,
Should
like,
it stick around?
yeah,
Now,
should it stick around?
There is an interesting question of whether I think it should and whether I think it will.
Yeah.
I do think that this idea has merit. Shang-Chi only destroying one enemy card, but I don't think that it would stay at this sort of stat line. If they were to change, if they were to permanently keep this change, I think they'd probably bump him up to like a 4-4 or maybe even a 4-5. because like it's I mean like the power disparity of like what it was before and what it is now is just so crazy that like the stats do not justify it at this point
Mhm.
now. Like
Oh
it
no.
really doesn't.
Mhm.
I do think maybe it might be healthier for them, like for the meta long term, for them to have it this way where it only destroys one enemy card,
Mhm.
because it kind of widens the design space. I mean, you're now
Mhm.
allowed to print more like big cards, right? Because previously they've had struggle like making like six cost cards, like big number cards, because it always gets no sold by Shang-Chi. And
Mhm.
now with this sort of change, they're more able to make those big power cards, because there's less of a fear of it. Oh, you just play Shang-Chi in response, right?
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. Yeah. So I think that like it definitely, if it's gonna stay this way, it needs some sort of stat change, 100%. I think that if they're considering this, I think Shang-Chi, if he's only destroying one card, should move down to a three cost, like maybe a 3/1 or 3/0. I think that would probably make him just overall better, and then you can also reproc him multiple times with a Grandmaster, or you can like you can maybe see an addition into like bounce if you really want the big tech, but like I think this change is good. I think that I'm glad that they're testing this kind of these kind of changes out. Um, and if I do think this is a change that is worth exploring, but if it's going to stay this way, there needs to be some sort of stat change. So I agree, yes.
Yeah.
Um, and so the next card we'll be talking about today is Killmonger. Um, so Killmonger directly affects me not only in the way of like now they can't try and kill my Mad Thinker from 3 lanes away. No, now now it requires some. Again, this card now requires skill playing. Again, you know, like you can't just like oh they're zoo, they're all set up in 3 lanes. I'll just play it middle. Now you win, you know, because they can't do anything. Now Killmonger, you're like, okay, now I need to figure out where I'm playing this, how I'm gonna play it. You know, like if it, do I can if I play it middle, can I win left or right against Zoo or against cards that or against decks that rely on these 1 drops? And I look at destroy as well. I think this is a noticeable nerf to destroy, because you used to just be able to play Deadpool and some other stuff in the lane, and then avoid a Cosmo snipe and play Killmonger in another lane. You know, and it allows you to readjust your lanes around the Cosmo. You know, so I think that Killmonger is this change is definitely a big nerf to destroy, and also the tech function of Killmonger itself. You know, so
Yeah.
do I think this stays this way? Um, I guess I could see a world where this could stay. But if it stays like this, there needs to be a stat reshuffle for it. It needs to go down to a 2/3 or up to a 3/5. Like there is no way Killmonger at where he is right now is a card that is worth playing. You know?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
definitely.
given the current stat line, it's just worse than Electra. How many 1 drops? Unless your opponent is playing Zoo, they're not usually having more than one significant 1 drop that you need to get rid of, or that you want to get rid of. And if that's the case, then Electra does the job better, right? Given that like if Killmonger can no longer target the entire board and you can play anywhere, then you might as well just play Electra instead of Killmonger at this current stat line. I totally agree that if this effect were to stay this way, it needs to be changed to either a 2 cost or. I mean, I don't know if I really agree with 3/5. I just don't want like more 3/5s. 3/5s is like giving it premium stat lines. I don't know if like I like this, but Killmonger now has basically transitioned from like a tech card to mostly a synergy piece for Destroy, right? If you're playing Deadpool Destroy, you still have to play this. It's just so much worse, right? Your opponent can
Yeah.
Cosmo you or like I mean, oh, actually, well, well, actually, now that I
We'll get into that in a second. We'll get into that one in a
Cosmo,
second.
yeah, Cosmo Destroy. Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude, I still haven't processed these changes
Oh,
completely.
no, no. I still think of some of these cards in the original stat lines. It's starting to hurt my brain, yes. So after Killmonger, so we talked about Shang-Chi, we talked about Killmonger. Those are only two, I guess we call it reworks. Like they reworked what their text does and stuff. Now we're gonna get into cards where their stats have changed, and since this OTA is all nerfs, it's just making their stat lines worse or not, like giving them a stat line that doesn't justify what their text reads. So without further ado, someone, you can go ahead and take us away with the next card.
Yeah, so Enchantress has gone from a 4/6 to a 5/8. The text has remained the same, but notably the cost has gone up by 1, and Enchantress has been given the compensation of 2 extra power, which theoretically, given like the power to like energy ratio, this is a fair stat shuffle, but it does certainly feel just worse to play. It's no longer before you can like kind of include Enchantress in like just a shell where you were like doing some points in some other way, and just Enchantress as like one of the options to deal with the decks that would go above you. But I feel like now you're no longer playing Enchantress in those decks. The only reason you're playing Enchantress is for the sole reason of like if you really lose to an ongoing card or ongoing in general, then you need to run Enchantress. Like notably, this is a buff for Hela players. Danish was very I think
excited.
I don't know if excited, but he was happy about this. Insofar that it is more of a buff for him, since like for Hela you're just cheating out these cards anyways. It's just another 5-drop, another like Legion-esque or Cosmic Ghost Rider. It just goes in that slot now, right? But for other decks, it feels like I do think there's like it changes like the timing that you want to play Enchantress on. I don't think you're ever playing Enchantress on 6 anymore, unless that really like is like the gotcha for them. But like I think you're more often tempoing Enchantress out to like stop them from doing things on turn 6, as opposed to playing Enchantress on turn 6 like after the fact, like losing prio. In that respect, I think it's a more interesting card. It forces you to play it out early, so that it's not like a surprise on turn 6. But I don't know if I particularly like this change, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with some of the points you're making. I actually think that Enchantress. I actually sort of disagree with some of what you're saying. Actually, I think Enchantress is positioned now in a premium 5-drop spot. I think that the only 5-drops that you see competing with Enchantress, unless they're in like a respective deck that wants them, like Darkhawk, are Legion, Blink, and I'm forgetting a card right now because I'm an idiot. But another Cosmic Ghost Rider. Those are the only 3 that are going to compete with Enchantress in some sort of significant way. I think Enchantress is positioned to be a good 5-drop. That like if you're in the need for a 5-drop and your deck has some sort of weakness to some ongoing cards, you're like, perfect, I will take Enchantress. She is a 5/8 that deals with a hard matchup for me. I think this change was good for Enchantress, I guess, and this is a change that I actually think is has the highest percentage of staying around, because I think this is good for Enchantress in the long run, and it gives her, of course, it's like she's less like, you can't just drop her in a random deck. Now she actually requires some deck building for her, but I am happy with the change for Enchantress, and I think it's good for the card in the long run. So yeah.
I will say that I think I was thinking about this in a vacuum sort of, but I guess in the current metagame context, the fact that there just isn't that much competition might be the thing that like makes Enchantress still viable, for the sheer fact that your competition is like 3 or 4 other cards, right? And some of the other 5-drops that you want to be playing, like Darkhawk mega loses to this. Afflict, like it's just like Ajax, Diamondback, Luke Cage. Holy, they're not having fun. All Ronin players not having fun. So I guess it does matter, because there's just not that much competition to like with 5-drops. And I guess in the long run, Second Dinner has said that they're looking at looking for ways to make 5 drops more appealing. So putting a a premium like tech card at that 5 cost slot might be the way to go. I
Mhm.
I might agree that it would be good in the long term. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sold on
Yeah.
this yet.
Mhm.
It just feels so wrong.
Yeah, it feels wrong.
Everything
I get
feels so
that.
wrong.
Mhm.
But like, I could see this as one of the changes that do stay. It does feel like
Yeah.
something that they would do.
And this, I actually think this is sort of a buff for her, unironically, because at a 4 slot, she was just dealing with so much competition for cards that you would rather run over her. You know, like Shang-Chi, like you would definitely rather Shang-Chi over Enchantress in 99% of the situations. So I'm happy that she's been giving, I guess, her spot for her to perform better. You know, because if you're looking for a 5 drop, like I said before, I don't want to reiterate, but like she is in a situation where you would rather run her over Cosmic Ghost Rider most of the times, unless you die to specific cards. But like, I don't see a situation where you would rather Cosmic Ghost Rider over Enchantress, even in Hella. Like Hella, you're not only protecting yourself from Stardust, but like now they don't need to play in the front row now. So I think this is definitely a buff to her. But I guess time will tell. You know, overall, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next balance change we're going to talk about is Shadow King. Shadow King went from a 2/2 to a 3/3. Um, this change is terrible. Shadow King is dead now. Let's be honest. It's the kind of situation where like bury him. Like he's dead. Like at a 3 cost, like I'm not running this card. I don't know anyone who's gonna run this card. Like 3/3 Shadow King is why they made Shadow King a 2/2. Like I remember for a time he was a 4/4, then a 3/3, then a 2/2.
Wait, who?
Shadow King is just
I
yeah, he
didn't
was a
know he was.
4 drop.
That's
I think he was a
crazy.
4 drop for a while. Like
Wow.
I just don't see a situation where you would rather 3/3 Shadow King over another 3 drop, or over another, or over a better 2 drop, over a better a 4 drop. I just I can't see Shadow King seeing a meta share, and this one, besides another change we'll get on to later on, is probably the change I say gets reverted back. Like this is a very obvious, like this card is dead now, and green numbers will excel in the meta for now, definitely.
I mean, I don't even know. Okay, we'll talk about the meta in a bit, but like, I guess if you're a Silver Surfer player, you're happy about this. Otherwise, otherwise, this is like, I don't know anyone who was complaining about Shadow King. This this
No.
this strikes me as one of those changes that was made solely to fit the theme, right? Solely just because
Hmm.
we're doing all the tech cards. We're nerfing tech cards. I guess we nerf Shadow King. This is not staying. If they keep this, then I don't know what that says about them, because Shadow King was fine as is.
Hmm.
Um, 3/3, just like the 3 cost is what makes it so much. It makes it so much more awkward to play, right?
Hmm.
Uh, the only way you play this is if the metagame devolves into like omega green numbers, and maybe
Hmm.
if the metagame devolves into like Wong, Black Panther, Zola, then maybe yeah you play a Shadow King. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I don't see. This is a bad change. This
Oh.
is a bad change. Yeah, I don't think it's staying, and I pray that I pray that we don't develop into Black Panther Zola. So
Agreed. Definitely, yes. So I'll let someone take over here, and now we have Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yes, finally! I hate this card.
so
Let's go.
Mario is very excited for this. Excited about this change. Negasonic Teenage Warhead has gone from a 3/3 to a 4/5, so it's got the Juggernaut treatment, which I guess makes sense, right? It was used in a very similar role to Juggernaut, um, and yeah, what this does is like really it changes the timing on Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Um, Fenris is crying in a corner. It's very sad. It's like the whole package of like Fenris rule, like it's almost never happening anymore. I
No.
mean, like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, I don't think it's that much worse. Like it might. I think this is more of like a side grade thing. Like if it's worse,
Mhm.
it's like a 5%, maybe like change, 5% change, or even less than that. It's a card that that requires more investment now. You can't just
Mm-hmm.
like play it like 3+3 on the final turn, right? Like now you have to do the sort of juggernaut thing where it's like, oh, 4+2. It's like, am I really winning with a 2 cost on another lane? Or sometimes you just have to play early now. You know, you just have to set that bomb in a lane and be like, well, can you deal with it? What are you gonna sacrifice to my Negasonic? And it's an interesting change. I think I could go for it. I think I'm in support of this sort of change. Negasonic is it's just exhausting to deal with. And you're trying to figure out it's like the sort of Cosmo thing. Like, oh my god, are they gonna go Cosmo here? Is it Negasonic? Are they gonna Negasonic here? Do I guess I have to play a small card first, or like. Or if you can't, then you just have to like, oh man, if they play Negasonic, then I lose. Then they blew up my key card, and I'm happy. And I think I think Mario's even happier than I am though.
Oh yeah, I have I despise Negasonic. I hate the card. Like I have lost so many games because I'm an idiot and I don't position my cards correctly to deal with Negasonic. And I was praying for a nerf. I was praying for a nerf in this OTA, and it happened. Unfortunately, it's more of a it's like what someone was saying. It's more of a side grade. Like I could see this sticking around, and it feels like a slight buff to her almost. Like
I mean,
uh
in certain decks, I guess. If you're playing
yeah.
Zabu plus Surge or like Fantastic
No.
and all those like cost discount decks, this might even be a buff. Oh wow, I have a 3/5 Negasonic change forehead.
Yeah, but I do think that this actually changes what Negasonic is as a card, because I feel like usually what would happen is you would play her in Wiccan and you would do Iron Patron on 2 into Negasonic on 3. You would get the discount and then go on to win the game most of the times, you know? And so I'm glad that this change has happened mainly for those tech decks. Like it now requires you to put in like someone was saying an investment into Negasonic as a card, and position it correctly so you're not like you're not hitting a hood on accident, or you're not hitting like a small card. Now you need a bigger return on her. And I'm happy about this, not only because I hate the card, but because now she requires, like we've been saying with every other tech card, she requires skill to play. Like now you need to position her correctly. Now you need to set up a lane for her, kind of situation, you know?
Yeah, it's much less of a free thing now. It's
Mm.
you really have to sort of invest into this, and I think the biggest loser from this though is Cerebro 3. Cerebro 3 players are like crying, bro. So this
Oh
whole
no, they got Shadow King.
I mean, they get Shadow King, I guess, but like with this and Cosmo, I mean, that C3 players
No,
are
crying in a corner. Yeah,
they're in shambles.
yeah, for
But
sure.
the next card though.
Yes, yes. So Eliath, Eliath gets moved from a 6'9" to a 6'6". Okay, this is a change that I personally have thought about the least. I haven't really thought about like how is this gonna change gameplay, because it just feels I don't know how to feel about this change. Like I feel like if you were playing Eliath, you were playing Eliath for what its text does, but also like Eliath was used in these Wiccan dumps as a way to as a high end card that still had good stats but had a really good effect for them. Like it could be helpful in dodging a Shang-Chi if you have a before set up lane for that. And I think that this change does make obviously Eliath it's definitely a nerf. Like 3 power, huge nerf, obviously. In a game about power, this is insane. Like I haven't seen a 3 power nerf in my life. Like in my time playing this game. Like it is a significant nerf to a card, 3 power. But I do think that these situations where you are using Life don't change a huge amount besides Wiccan tech dumps. I still think this is a nerf that I do think will get changed to a 6'7", a 6'8". I don't think it stays at 6'6" because Eliath is just not a good card right now. But I do see situations where you still use this card for its effect. It's just now you need a bigger points package to add to Eliath,
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's definitely there are still reasons to use it, but it's no longer as free as it was in certain decks like Wiccan. This change, I think, what it does is like it makes you more like incentivized to like just cut like the sort of tech altogether and just move to like some sort of points package, right? Because if Alive is a 6/6 and if sometimes like if six power is sometimes just not enough to beat. Like even if you remove the text, like if they play a 7 power card, oh no, you lost that interaction, right?
Yeah.
Like no, like it's just small enough that now you're no longer even winning sometimes, even when you align with your opponent, right? If they just have bigger numbers than you, 6/6 is like 6 power is just it's just a small stat line for a 6 cost, especially since. Like, if you're playing this in a normal deck, then you have to dedicate your last turn to just doing this, right? The only way it wins if it stops your opponent from doing a big combo, right? But otherwise, in I think most decks, like sometimes you can just output more power just straight up. And I think what this change does is incentivize, for example, Wiccan players to look into. I mean, playing like First Steps
Enchantress.
Although some players Enchantress. Although some players were already playing First Steps Galactus, but maybe like instead of like a tech 6 card, then just play a big guy, Red Hulk, Gore.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I 100% agree.
I do think that this is probably the right direction to move in, although probably not this harsh of a nerf. I would I'd be fine with 6/8. I'd be fine with 6/7. Like I mean, it doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be this rough.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And before I move on, but to everything, I want to take a little tangent and talk about Galactus First Steps. Galactus First Steps for a while was regarded as a bad card. The play rate in Golden Gauntlet suggests otherwise. Like, I think that people are slowly realizing that a big 6-drop without a downside is good. And I think people need to catch up because like this is a very good card, and it works so well in as a high-end card in so many different decks. So I just want to take a quick tangent and talk about Galactus First Steps, and I think it's a very good card right now. I think it's definitely a card that if you are running I think especially Wiccan is going to benefit hugely from a big like maybe in a 6/20 if you're playing it correctly without downside. Like. So yeah, I just want to take a little tangent to talk about that, and we can continue on. And the next card is Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Yeah, Red Guardian went from a 3/2 to a 3/0, and this card is dead. It's gone. It's not a real card anymore. No one. You're not playing Red Guardian anymore. 3/0.
C0.
This is not a real card anymore. You're never gonna be playing this. You might as well just play Cosmic Ghost Rider at this point. Like if you're gonna be removing text, you might as well like have a real body while removing text. Because like this is still like a 3/2 quote unquote with the like affliction aspect, but it's just the power proposition, the stats proposition is just so bad. Like 3/4, like before as an effective 3/4, like you could justify it because it was playing the important role of getting rid of like early game threat, like a Morbius, or some early game like scaler, or even if you saved it late game, it could get rid of an Iron Man. Like it had an important use in like curtailing your opponent's ability to get their game plan going or to maximize on their game plan, but it was only worth it up to a certain point, right? At the text at a 3/0, like half the time you're not even hitting anything with Red Guardian. Like there are games where you just hit nothing and you just play it for points. And if that's happening with at a 3/0 stat line, it's just god awful. And before saying anything else, I just want to clarify. Some people were like pinging me about like, oh wow, it's a negative. It's now good and negative. No, it's not. It's not good and negative. It was better before Mr. Negative.
No, it's a negative card. It's a 0. You have hey. You're here to swap power and cost. You cannot complain. It is a 3/0. It's a 0/3 now. It's a 0/5 now.
It's still worse than Mr. Negative.
It's not. You can't say that.
Not like Mr. Negativing this card, it's just terrible. And even when you are, like, I'd rather have a Sage or an Ironheart or like any other 3/0 C0. Like they're just way better options. Like it's crazy. This card. I hope they don't keep this change. They're almost certainly not. Like
No,
Red Guardian
100%.
was fine as a 3/2. This is one of those. This is another of those changes where it's just like them being like, oh, tech card, let's get rid of it now.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing when I look at Red Guardian, when I look at Shadow King, I'm like, oh, they're just going on vacation for 2 weeks. Is what's happening. You know, no one is playing them. No one in their right mind is playing those 2 cards. Like, you're just not going to play them. And I wanted to quickly take a tangent and talk about Red Guard. C0 is now a real deck. Cerebro Zero is a real deck now, guys. It's a real deck now. You have tech. The minute they give us a 0 power location changer, it's over. It's over for everybody. C0 is a real deck.
Oh my gosh. No, C0 is not a real deck, guys.
Yes.
If you're a Cerebro Zero enjoyer, get help.
Get help. Yeah. I mean, C0. That's all I gotta say. It's a C0. It's a C0 buff. You know, taking away from Cerebro 2, giving it to C0. That's all I gotta say. You know. But definitely, this is a card that cannot stay this way, or it becomes unplayable. I don't see anyone playing a 3/0 with upside. Like, honestly, like, it's bad enough that, like, I can't even picture a situation where this is good. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's just not.
I mean, it's only like those dream scenarios where like your opponent has a Ravona just cold on board, and then you have Prio, and then you get rid of it. It's like it's only in that scenario. It's just not.
It's just not working. Yeah, perfectly. So we're gonna move on to the last balance change. Cosmo. Yes. For those of you who don't remember, I literally just said it. I lost my Golden Gauntlet game to Cosmo. So I am the happiest man in the world right now. They nerfed Negasonic. They nerfed Cosmo. I'm loving it. Someone, go ahead, take over. Let's do this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Cosmo, went from a 3/3 to a 4/6, and I think this is the change that most feels wrong to me. Like, it just seems so wrong. I don't think Cosmo has ever been changed, and seeing it at a different stat line, this is not Marvel Snap. This is not Marvel Snap anymore. Like, I don't know what game I'm playing at this point. But yeah, certainly the use case for Cosmo has changed a lot now.
Oh.
I'm not sure what decks are going to be playing Cosmo at this point. I'm just trying to imagine, like, I mean, Cerebro 6? the
Cerebro 6
are happy that they can finally protect their
Cerebro.
But other than that, like, it's a good enough stat line and a good enough effect that I'm sure, like, some people are gonna be like willing to put this in their decks, because 4/6 is still like it's a fine stat line for this effect, right? It's like, if 4/7 is the base stat line of a 4-cost card, then 4/6 is like, you know, it's acceptable because it was a 3/3, which was already below the theoretical 3/4 base stat line, right? So the stat line is like more or less still the same level of fairness, but the timing on this is just a lot more. It's the same sort of thing as Juggernaut and Negasonic, where you're no longer really playing this on turn 6 plus a 2 unless you have something, unless you're confident you can win another location with a 2-drop, which might be the case for like Victoria Hand or Invisible Woman, but I just don't. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure what decks really want this. I just don't know. This is this is the most up in the air for me.
For sure, yeah. So the way I see it, obviously you could look at it the Zabu route. It's a 3/6 now, but obviously you could just look at everything with Zabu now. I think this is a good change, honestly. I think Cosmo is just way too easy to slot into a deck beforehand. Like, as long as your deck wasn't built around on reveals, like, End of Turn had this, ongoing probably still has it. Like, there's so many different decks that Cosmo was seeing play in, and I'm glad this got changed, not only because I don't like Cosmo as a card personally, but like, I can see this change sticking around. This is like I said, this is one of the more likely ones I can see sticking around as well. You know, like, I think this is not only I guess I actually consider this a bit of a buff to Cosmo. Obviously, going up a cost is difficult for a card as well, especially in the thing. But I feel like in this OTA we have a lot of second dinner, like, oh, well, we're gonna have a little fun with it. We're gonna nerf Red Guardian and Shadow King. Let's give them a vacation for 2 weeks, kind of situation. But then we also have changes like Cosmo, Negasonic, Shang-Chi that I could, or Killmonger that I could see sticking around in some way, shape, or form with some sort of a stat reshuffling. And I think this and Negasonic are probably the ones that I could see not getting changed like at all, like not even like a stat reshuffle at all. I think these cards could stick around as is, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as convinced that Cosmo really needs to be a 4/6. I think he was fine as a 3/3. Like realistically, I understand that your frustration with your your particular matchup against Cosmo, but I don't know how many people were complaining about Cosmo as opposed to some of the other tech cards, right? It wasn't very high on the list of cards that you were like really complaining about. It just felt like a part of the game, Like most people were like when they were complaining about tech, the first thing they would think of was Shang-Chi, and they've dealt with Shang-Chi. They've definitely
did.
But Cosmo is like it's more like reactive tech, right? Because you have to like if you're reacting to your opponent like playing on reveal, so like you're like, haha, you can't do that anymore in this lane. I will say against the Wong matchup, the Wong enjoyers are really I think are having a good time, because against Wong now it's more of a, well, do you have prio? Like before it was like that, but like it was just like Wong was just that much more of an investment than the counter Cosmo. But now like you're both committing 4 energy, right? You can't do anything else, right? If you're trying to stop Wong, then you have to commit this 4 energy in this location, right? So I think this is an interesting change. I'm willing to hear it out, but I think it'd be fine as a 3/3. Honestly, I think it'd be fine if it stayed.
For sure, yeah, I get that 100%. Yeah. So I guess before we close out and we talk about the card Bastion and then the card that's releasing next week, I guess I'll just kind of like get your thoughts, someone, on like on I guess a couple of these changes. I think specifically, not only I want to hear like, do you think Cosmo will stick around, but I want to hear, do you think Negasonic will stick around, or Enchantress will stick around, or Killmonger or Shang-Chi will stick around? Like, what do you think is the percentage? Like, how often are these changes going to stick around? Just as is,
Yeah. So I think it really feels like this OTA has been like titled Experiment, right? So they're really like testing the waters here, but like with all experiments, it does seem like some part of most of these changes are going to be staying in some way. Some of the stat changes, like Red Guardian and Shadow King, those I'm very confident they're going to revert those. Like those cards are dead. They were fine before, so they don't need to have changed that. Shang-Chi and Killmonger, the 2 cards where like they changed the inherent effect. I think that it feels like they probably will like keep some aspect of this change, but like compensate with stats, right? Killmonger will, like my bet would be Killmonger goes to a 3/4, right? Like just to give it a little bit. I don't even think it's good at a 3/4, but like just so that it's like more competitive, right? Shang-Chi probably goes like up in power if they're keeping the effect. I'm not sure. The ones that I could reasonably see staying are Negasonic Teenage Warhead. That feels like the sort of change that they would be like, okay, this is just the new norm. And Enchantress, it really feels like those two feel like real balance changes, like that this is actually gonna stick, right? Everything else is kind of up in the air for me, like and Cosmo again is like, I don't know, I could go 50-50 on Cosmo.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. Yeah, I think obviously I think the most likely to change to come back to what they used to be with Shadow King and Red Guardian. I think those cards are just dead. Like No, second dinner. I get, this is a bit and everything, but if these don't change back, I will be mad because I want to run these two cards in different decks. Um, I 100% agree. So I guess now we can take this time to transition into the new cards of the week. The new the we can talk about Bastion, and we can talk about what the stats have been and who was right. Spoiler, I was. And
No.
and then we can talk about and then we can talk about the cards coming out next week. So someone, if you can go ahead and take over with talking about what Bastion has been so far, and then I can jump in later on, and then we can talk about what the card will be releasing next week will be.
Okay, so Bastion, just as a reminder, is a 4/3 with the text on reveal, add copies of your other cards here to your hand. Set their cost to 2 and power to 3. So this deck has been primarily seen in Victoria Hand and Cerebro. I think that's the main consensus. I think I've seen some experimenting with other types like Invisible Woman, but for the most part, on ladder, I've seen this deck. I've seen this card in Victoria Hand and Invisible Woman. Off the gate, I will say about the high rolls. You're right. You're right. When Bastion gets going, if you have it on curve, if you go Victoria Hand Frigga into Bastion, holy moly, it's crazy numbers. I've had to retreat with Mr. Negative, getting the Mr. Negative combo. Because they got like so many Victoria hands that I straight up like didn't have the power to deal with it, right? So the high rolls with Bastion are pretty incredible. If you get this going, this is like one of the best cards in that sort of shell in Victoria Hand and in Cerebro. But the thing I've been seeing with this card is that you're not always getting the high rolls. I don't know how often you're seeing like Bastion pop off, but for me, it's not that often. It's not often enough for me to be seriously concerned. So I do still lean in the direction that this is like mainly a good card, but nothing special for me.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Yeah. Um, I suck at this. Hold up, I'm trying to pull up the next card. But I guess I could try to talk while I pull up the next card. Um, I think Bastion is a very good card. I think he's probably up there with like one of the best cards that are going to be releasing this season. Not only because he obviously works with Mad Thinker, and I think that's definitely something that people should be doing more often. Mad Thinker, the goat.
Mad
Yes.
Thinker.
No.
No, it's no Mad Thinker build.
I am built to think about Mad Thinker stuff. Yes. But I think that even just getting an extra V hand or an extra like uh or like an extra, what is this thing called, or an extra like ongoing, like I think usually you would see like you would turn Ant-Man, you get a Goliath, you get a V hand, like that's a lot of stats, like that is a ton of stats. And I think it's a very good card. I just think that people just haven't like put together the ideal deck. I still see people trying to deck build with them. Like there are so many different ways you can build with them still. I just think the issue with that is that like people just haven't figured out what the ideal 11 cards are. The same with Mora X, like we were talking about last week. I just think that Bastion is easier to build around than Mora X will be. So I think Bastion, my official rating is that he's a 9 out of 10. I think he's on par with Sparky. So I want to hear what someone rates him. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we should be using the out of 10 system. I think we should be using a completely new system.
You're right.
Folks, we're going to be unveiling the all new snapping all in rating system called the Rock Scale. So, woo! So, how this works is essentially asking the question: how many rocks would this card need to shuffle into either yours or your opponent's deck to be a fair card? So, what does this mean? So, for cards that are very bad, like Awesome Andy, for you to consider playing Awesome Andy like just in a normal deck, for it to be fair card, it would have to shuffle 2 rocks into your opponent's deck. So that would be a rating of 2 rocks
Yeah.
on the rock scale, right?
Yeah.
For something like Release Red Hulk, for that card to be fair, it would have to shuffle 2 rocks into your own deck. So that'd be a
Yeah.
rating of -2 on the rock scale. And a balanced card would be 0 on the rock scale, no rocks shuffled. So what I give Bastion is a 0 on the rock scale. I know, not the most exciting start, but it's just I don't think he's broken. I don't think he needs like any extra help. He seems like a perfectly fine card to me. No one's really like complaining about the brokenness of Bastion. Like if you pop off, you pop off. But like otherwise, like he's just another tool that Victorian Hand, Cerebro, or ongoing, or another tool you can use.
For sure, yeah. So if I had to give my reading in the rock scale, which I completely forgot to do, so pardon everybody, I suck as a host as well. I think that for Bastion to be fair, he should shuffle a rock into your deck. I think that he is a very good card. I think that 2 rocks belongs to like 10 out of 10. Like, get this card a balance changer right now or else. I think that Bastion is like a, if you have time later on in the meta, you can nerf him like a little bit. I think that we can, like, if you want to talk about like 2s on the rock scale, Prime Iron Patriot, Prime Red Hulk, these cards need to shuffle 2 rocks into your deck to be fair kind of situation,
Yeah. So yeah, I shuffling. Okay, I feel like you're a little bit high on this, but like I think I still can't get behind that. I still can't get behind it. Like even now, like I don't know. I think he's a balanced card as is. But we'll move on to the next card. The next card, which is Jim Hammond Human Torch, which is a 1/2 with the effect at the start of each turn, +1 power for each bonus energy you have. Bonus energy, I think, is a new term that hasn't been used yet. And what we assume it means is that it's energy in addition to the normal amount of energy you should have in that turn.
For sure. So Jim Hammond. So hearing his text, thinking about what the card will do, I think right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I think he's going to be good in Wiccan, obviously. Airsham, I think is going to be good in decks that want extra energy, like Luna, like cards that like Luna Snow. And I think that like a high roll deck he could be in is something with forgetting the name of the card. Give me a sec. Sorry. Fallen One. If by some miracle you pull off the Silver Surfer Steps into Shuri, into Fallen One, Jim Hammond Human Torch is 20 power on turn 6. And that's it.
Less than that because turn 6, if you have like 21 energy or
that's true. No, it'd be like 26 energy.
21 minus 6, which would be 15. So I think in that deck it works basically as like second Sunspot, just slightly worse.
Yeah, for sure. I guess if I had to rate him, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, but like. Yeah, this sort of this like okay, and if you're playing this in Airsham, it's a 1/6. Like, we'd take a 1/6. But like, I don't know if Airsham is really asking for this. Like, I don't know how much they're like raving to get another 1-drop. Like,
yeah,
maybe, but and all the other energy ramp isn't looking for a 1-drop. Like I can't think of Corvus Glaive, like Electro. Are you playing this in Electro? Are you like
no.
maybe like I mean like it just doesn't seem like the sort of thing like Luna Snow like it maybe Surfer decks like with Luna Snow like maybe you consider just him as like this is just my 1-drop my the one my token 1-drop just because but like I don't think this is I don't think this card is very good. On the rock scale, I'd rate him a 1, essentially. If he shuffled 1 rock into your opponent's deck, he would be fair. Essentially make him a Korg, right?
Yeah.
Right? If he had Korg's effect, yeah, I'd play him, but otherwise it's not really worth it.
Yes. So my thoughts on this card and my rating for him is I hate this card. I wish it didn't exist because he is going to conflict with Mad Thinker. And I don't want people thinking Mad Thinker is worse than him because Mad Thinker is the best card in the game. Okay, so I don't want to hear anyone saying Jim Hammond is better than Mad Thinker. So I will come after you. Okay, I will come after you. So that aside, I don't think the effect justifies the amount of investment you have to put into the card. I think that. I agree with your rating. I think he needs to shuffle rock into your opponent's deck, or I think he's about like a zero rock. Like he doesn't need to shuffle anything, or he needs to shuffle. I think like he's between those two for me. I just think I don't know what he's gonna work in yet. You know? Definitely.
Yeah, it feels like an archetype staple for an archetype that hasn't really been fully defined yet.
Yes.
Right?
Hmm.
We have a bunch of energy cheap, but like energy ramp. Like ramp
Hmm.
exists, but not this type of ramp. Not this type of ramp that like is asking you to, I don't know, generate a bunch of energy. So maybe Fallen One decks. Maybe Fallen One really is the plan. Maybe like, you know, if you get a 10 power Fallen One, you have 4 bonus energy. Maybe a 1/5. Maybe it's just good as a like a 1/6, right? With 4 extra energy. Maybe it's just good with in Fallen One decks. But I'm just not sure. And another thing is like this is a start of turn effect, right? It's not ongoing. It's not. You have to have this down, right? This is like the it's a scalar that you have the forces you to invest in it like early, and I just like maybe it can be curve filler, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not too excited about this card. It seems like it'll pass by like
Yeah.
a thud.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And like I said, Mad Thinker is better. Okay, run Mad Thinker. Don't run Jim Hammond. Okay, he sucks. Get him out of here. But yeah.
But I think that marks the end of today's episode. We've run through all the topics, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
If
Yes.
if you enjoyed, please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video. Please leave a comment. Any engagement helps. Share this with all your friends. Share this with all your family. Put this. Make sure
And share with
everyone
SD.
with everyone you know with. Have you checked out the latest episode of Snap All In?
Yes, yes. We need to become as important in your life as your family, okay? Trust me.
Yes, we are your family now.
We are your family. We are your Snap family, okay?
You're just-
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. Mario, if you'll just take us out, like final outro.
Yes. So again, thank everybody for listening to us. We are your hosts, Baby Mario and SomeOneHereAgo. And as always, see you guys next time.